Friday.
Starts on Friday.
Tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
And there's a book out from Series 1.
Yeah, that's
Still number one.
It's doing all right, that.
Mental. I mean, I told him that. I told him the sales, the DVD. The DVD, I mean, the book and the DVD we sold about 1 million, right? Nothing. I tell him all these people that, you know, like you, these people that I talk to at the Golden Globes and these award shows, they're not impressed with it. The only thing he's impressed with
is being paid. That is all I want, Richard. That is all I do this for. Like
there's
the one thing. I love it when I get a cheque in the post.
Yeah.
You're never there to witness that.
No, you don't. You moan about it because you say, "Oh, I've got to pay tax and that. I've got to do this, that."
Yeah, well, everyone else sticks their hand out, doesn't
exactly.
But that is why.
But the one thing I'm just working on the third series, the Ricky Gervais show, the animation.
Yeah,
we're just finishing it, and I showed him the finished first episode, and he loves that. He watches those over and over again. He loves watching himself as a cartoon.
Why?
Because it's not him. It's not like him. It's like they've added to it, and it's things we said. You can watch it like it's not. I watch it like it's not us three.
Well, I forgot a lot of things we talked about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they've got better and better. The third series is better than the first two, and it got better and better. But I really love those. I think it's a lovely little gem, isn't it?
Karl, how do you feel about getting recognised? The fame aspect of it. Do you like that?
No, not really.
Why not?
Because I'm not that sort of person, really. I just like keeping myself to myself.
Does it happen a lot now?
Yeah, not. I mean, I don't go out. I don't put myself in situations where there's loads and loads of people. I wouldn't go to, say, a Glastonbury or something like that, just because I don't want to come across miserable.
No, I never really cared for it. I mean, I knew going into it that if you became a successful actor or comedian, you'd become a famous one. But I was always wary. I didn't want people to think I'd signed with the devil. Make me famous and you can go through my bins. I never signed that contract. And you've got to be careful what you say as well, because people think you're ungrateful. It's like I did an interview recently and they said about, do people bother you? And I went, no, everyone's really nice. I said, I have to avoid pubs. Sometimes a drunk could come and say, have a drink with us, and you have to go, I'd rather not. And they think, you've changed. And I go, no, I haven't. I never used to drink with strangers. But the headline was, I'm too famous for pubs.
I saw that.
So
it said you hadn't been in a single pub in 10 years.
It makes me look like I'm complaining, or I've started the conversation. Like I've gone into a room full of journalists and said, listen up, I'm too famous for pubs. I love pubs. It's like, and Karl's very aware of this. There are some, and there are a small percentage that are out to twist your words and make you look like you've changed. They build you up when you want to bet. And I think Karl's very aware of that, and he hasn't changed a bit. In fact, he's got slightly more Karl. The more I've known him,
I like, it's great if people come up and they just go, I like your programme. I go, cheers, and they wander off.
What else do they say?
No, it's just the freakier ones where they want to know everything, or they know everything. It's like
where they know the podcast even better than you do.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, but it's the ones that think they know everything and don't. I mean, the problem is that everyone's. I've got a blog. Everyone's a journalist these days. Everyone's a critic. So there's these conspiracy theories. I mean, people say things that they really think they know. I've heard that. I know for a fact that
they do.
Karl's an actor called Graham. That they work out how rich you are, and it's like, but fans are fine. We couldn't do without fans. We like people that like what we like and they buy our work. Of course we do, But I think you do have to draw the line of privacy because I think it's your right.
This phenomena of people making uninformed comments online is remarkable now. If you go on, one of my favourite pastimes, that might not be the right phrase, but a pastime is going on the Mail online, picking an innocuous story about a celebrity and looking at the comments.
Hatred. I love comments. I've done a few essays for the Wall Street Journal, and there are probably contentious issues, because some of them I suppose you'd count as controversial, particularly across Middle America. That I talk about, science and atheism and those, and the comments are incredible. I mean, just
what sort of things?
Just brain dead, ill-informed people like the devil's going to kill me tonight. And you want to laugh because you want to go, I don't know where to start with that. You haven't read the essay. I'm not scared of the devil because I don't think he exists. And then you go to the real hatred, the people that think, abortion is wrong, even if it's the product of a paternal rape, and you want to go, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start with this, so you have to sort of like walk away.
It's good with the mail, because there's a bloke who's writing for that who said that I'm not an idiot, so it's great. Carry on.
Frank
What's he said I've got?
An MA. He said, you'll probably find out that Karl Pilkington has got an MA in classics.
That's brilliant.
Did he?
That's great.
But again,
Carry on.
He reared his head again. I think he reviewed the first series before anything had been made. I think because he's a travel journalist. I think the more reactionary travel writers think that who is this oik that's come along?
Didn't you send the tape to Alan Wicker?
We did. We wanted to get a review, but he was very, very nice and said good luck. He said, I don't feel I can endorse this as it's put back Indian-British relations by 100 years.
What did he say about India, Karl?
I didn't say anything bad. It was just
He
the
said it was
time.
the worst place on earth.
Yeah, but do you know what? Even though I said that, I'll never
What's your
forget
definition
it.
of bad?
I'll never forget it. And is it better to have a really bad experience somewhere than one where you go, I can't? Do you know, like, I've been to a lot of Gran Canaria. I couldn't tell you which is what. Whereas with India, I know I was there. There's still bits of me there. It's a tough place. If you can handle that, it's a proper test of your character. And I've got good memories of it in a way. It's an amazing.
Then what do you think of the people that live there? So you must think
great.
that
Yeah, people were great. Nothing wrong with them.
Karl never has a go at the people or their plight or he says what he thinks about a situation. I mean, I think him in the Middle East was incredible. I mean, he said some amazing stuff that isn't. They don't show that side of it. They don't show. Karl was depressed about the wall, and it really moved him. I had a conversation with Karl. I was on the phone for about half an hour, and he was in Africa. He just visited the slums, and he'd done this thing, and he'd helped build a hut.
Friday night comedy.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it'd be in the programme. It's a bit too heavy, but Karl was genuinely moved and depressed. He felt guilty that he was on telly helping someone because he didn't want to look like one of those actors who go out and do comic relief to go, look at me, look at me. I was going, no, we don't need to show it, we don't need to show it. So he's very, very, very thoughtful about these things. It's not like he's not thick-skinned, he's not an emotionless person. He's the same as anyone, he feels the same as everyone. But he sometimes thinks before he thinks. and
I've got to go to the Japanese embassy to talk about how it's a good place to go.
Yeah, they found out he was going, they want him to talk. So what are you going to say? I mean, this is to do with the fact that they're worried that people aren't going there because they think of nuclear fallout. Or
and I was worried
earthquakes.
about that. I said to you, I don't want to go, and you said it's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is.
Was it Japan where you were complaining about them not having toilet doors?
No,
That was
that's
China.
You said they invented the iPod.
Yeah, he confused Japan and China. Of course he did.
okay.
Yeah, but now he knows the difference.
No,
He's been to
the
both.
argument was they built a massive, great big wall, but they can't put doors on toilets. It didn't add up to me, that. But forget that. That was last time. I've moved on. I'm wiser. But with Japan, it's an all right place. I don't think it's radiation. There was earthquakes happening when I was there. It's the food. We've got to sort that out.
What's wrong with the food? That'd be one of the main reasons to go.
They don't cook the fish.
It's just fish all the time for everything. And some fish that you just go, where have they got that from? You go in fishmongers and you know what fish look like. Sometimes it's like, has someone coughed that up? What is it? What is it? And they're loving it. And that is the worst thing, because at the end of the day, food's important, isn't it? When you go on holiday, you like, that's why I like Italy and that, you get pasta.
Right.
Yeah.
This fish, honestly.
If you get pasta here now, I've told you can get it in Waitrose.
Yeah. But
So what are you going to say at the embassy is, if you want people to go to your country, there needs to be a dramatic
Just say
cultural
you're
shift.
not going to get radiation poisoning, but you could die from a fish.
Yeah.
If the chef doesn't cut it just right, you might die from eating a fish.
No one's going to go to your country unless they start serving pasta.
they've just got to open it up a little bit. Everywhere
Noodles,
you went.
they've got noodles.
I know, but they didn't seem to. There's noodles with fish in. You can't escape it. It was just a fish all the time. It's like living in an aquarium. Honestly, proper struggle with that. That's my thing. As long as I've got a comfy bed and some food, I'm happy anywhere.
Karl, I've got some good news here. This is
Sounds like something from Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
This is
just him in bed eating pasta.
This is Javid in Huddersfield. He says, I've got the same experience as Karl. I worked with a family years ago who also had a horse which they kept in the kitchen. You were explaining earlier,
Yeah, awesome.
someone knew you kept a horse in the living room. Does happen.
There you go, it does happen.
Does happen.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at some more text. Dear Ricky
Karl,
and
what do you say to those people that say you're not qualified to do a travel show because...
Well, who is? Who is? I've been sent to these countries. I'm saying what I'm seeing. Why do you need to be educated on that?
I agree.
Well, it's actually not a bad point, is it? What would qualify
Carl,
you? Why do you have to be qualified?
Carl, what do you say to these people who say this is another example of dumbing down? Since when was it?
Right.
Since, right.
Right.
Let me
Listen,
finish. Let
we're
me
talking-
finish. I'm speaking to... Right. What do you say to these people who say it's another example of dumbing down? Since when are we meant to celebrate idiocy?
Right.
That's,
well, first of all, this isn't licensed payers' money. We're on Sky. I'm probably after a programme called Dogs with Jobs. So let's not worry about what's good and what isn't, right? So there's one point. Secondly, the other night I was in when Made in Chelsea was on. So before they get to me, there's a lot of other programmes people can have a whinge about.
I agree.
I reckon, I know that I don't always get things right. I don't always give clear information. Sometimes I watch it back and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes you stop yourself during a sentence and you say, what was I saying?
But I think there's something in there. You said it looks nice. You can watch it with the sound down.
I think
you'll
it's
still
brilliant.
get something out of it.
It's great.
A lot of telly now, I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what is going on.
Actually, I suppose the public service element is you go to places that I wouldn't have thought of going to, and I find that I want to go to them after having seen your programme.
That is good.
That's a public service
and that's
thing,
all I'm
isn't it?
saying. I'm not saying no one should come in. I'm just saying my problems with it.
Some of the kind of tribes people that you meet, how about for Series 3, inviting some of them back to your house?
Thoughts?
No, I don't
Carl,
know.
what do you say to those people that say you're bordering on the racist with the things you say about other
People
cultures?
have said that, and I don't know if they can actually pick a point, if they can edit it out and send it to me and say this bit, because I don't know what they're talking about.
No, nor do I.
It's an easy thing for people to whinge about now.
I agree.
It's racist.
Some people did say that, didn't they? Was that some?
But I don't know which bit.
I thought there was one bit when he was on a coach and in China, and a lot of them were sort of just gobbing in bags and on the floor, and he found it disgusting.
That's bad, isn't it?
I would find it disgusting if
That's
anyone.
not racist.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not. But it's
And that
again,
is-
it's twisted to say that he's despising a culture.
And Richard, this isn't made up. This isn't us getting on a bus saying, right, listen, we're filming now. Can everyone spit in a bag? That sound, that sort of...
We need 30 Chinese extras with little bags. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, everywhere you go in China, you're just hearing that sort of clearing of throat. Everywhere you go, just... that sort of sound, which is horrible. I'm sorry. Honestly, it's like a mobile ring. You're just constantly hearing that noise. And people say, oh, did you see much of China? No, I didn't really see much of it because I'm walking round with my head down, making sure I'm not standing in the stuff. It's everywhere. But then again, it's a very sort of grey, depressing place, so it adds a bit of colour, if anything. But anyway, that was last time. I have moved on, and I have enjoyed
But what do you say to those people that say you don't accept cultural differences, and that maybe here it's disgusting, but in China it's acceptable, so you're the odd one out, so you should accept it and go along with it? What do you say to those people, Carl?
But then what's the programme? If I'm just going around like a lot of these programmes do, where they stand there and they go, oh, it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, isn't it lovely? Oh, they phlegm up everywhere.
I'm just saying...
That's what the holiday programme was, wasn't it? Uncritically.
Judith Chalmers going,
2 nights.
there's a lovely bit of gob here. You can stay here for 40 quid. Don't slip on the greenies.
Honestly, I don't walk around moaning saying...
You do?
All right.
You do. But you say it as you see it, that's the point.
That's all it is.
I'm going to take some travel. Stay there. Stay there. I know you're keen to go, Carl, but I also want you to meet the actress Jessica Chastain who's coming as well. All right, stay there.
Awkward.
So reluctant.
It's 10-3, Louise Pepper. What's happening?
Still got queues to the West Midlands for the M6 northbound at Junction 10 at Walsall to the M54 at Junction 10A. That's all been cleared away, the accident there, but half-hour delays through there. And it means the M5 very slow northbound from West Bromwich up to the M6 as well. The M42 had an earlier accident as well, southbound between Solihull at Junction 5 and Dorridge at Junction 4. Queues are back to Birmingham Airport at Junction 6. Essex, one lane closed on the M11 northbound between Harlow at 7 and Bishop Stortford at Junction 8. There's debris in lane 1. And by Buckinghamshire stretch of the M25. 2 lanes closed clockwise between junction 16 for the M40 and Maple Cross at junction 17. It was down to just 1 lane a few moments ago, so a second lane has been reopened, but the queues back through junction 16, almost back to junction 15. Travel hotlines 03700 100 500. Louise Pepper, 5 Live Travel.
The Premier League on 5 Live Sport.
Bounces down, shoots, it's into the net!
Saturday, kick-off, 12:45. It's Manchester City against Everton. And on Sunday, Queen's Park Rangers take on Aston Villa from 4. For the list of all upcoming commentaries on 5 Live and